to break down. And as always, the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is brought to you by FanDuel. It's winner take all time in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and much, much more. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And today's winning ticket comes from Chris Kovac, who hit a $1 four-part same-game parlay in Game 3 that turned out to win $15. So a 15-to-1 return on investment. Bet $1, win 15. Chris said for a single data 3, it puts gas in the car. So shout out to you, Chris.
All right, now it does.
Hey, that's double
You know why our winning ticket's so low? Because I bet a lot of Cavs fans bet on the Cavs to win, and we didn't have a lot of winning tickets in the area.
That is true. Speaking of formulas to winning, I have some numbers that are pretty eye-opening, guys.
Oh, boy.
Throughout this series, through 3 games, when Donovan Mitchell is on the court for the Cavs, they have a positive 5.9 rating. So plus 5.9 when Donovan's on the court.
What does that number mean? Do you know?
It's the difference in your offensive rating to your defensive rating. So essentially per 100 possessions.
Oh, okay, I got it.
You are 6 points
So
better
if he was out there for the whole game, on average, they would win by 6 points.
Yeah, it's translated to 100 possessions, but essentially, yes.
Okay, got it.
In the 24 non-Donovan Mitchell minutes this series,
Oh, boy.
the Cavs have a net rating of negative 65.9.
Are you kidding
Now,
me?
that's not a 66-point difference because it's per 100 possessions, Jay. So it translates out. But their offensive rating without Donovan on the court is just a 68.9. To compare that to what a regular, very bad offensive rating is, in the regular season, the Memphis Grizzlies had the lowest offensive rating in basketball. That was a 106.8. In those 24 minutes through 3 games against the Celtics without Donovan Mitchell, the Cavs' offensive rating is nearly 40 points lower than the lowest offensive rating in the NBA.
That is, look, I've never heard that. I've never seen that kind of comparison.
Crazy.
That is the single biggest indictment of a supporting cast
I've ever seen.
I would venture to guess that the only thing in NBA history that has come close to that would be the Cavs, the first year LeBron took them to the finals. I would love to have seen what the difference was with LeBron on the court and off the court, because that supporting cast was
You know what's so crazy?
weak.
He never came off the court. Remember the game?
No, I know. He was
Remember
young
the
and he played 48 minutes.
He played 48 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they would ask him, LeBron, how does your body feel? He's like, are you going to play 48? He's like,
I have to.
I got it. It is what it is.
Wow, that's
So, yeah, they've been very bad when Donovan's on the bench. He has been a one-man offensive show. And my question to you guys is,
oh, my God.
he clearly needs more from Darius and Max Strus.
He needs
and
more from
Caris
everybody.
Levert, and frankly, everybody. Evan Mobley's the only player in this series who's averaging more points in this series than he did during the regular season outside of Donovan. Is there a way, and if the answer is no, then feel free to say no, but is there a way for the Cavs to unlock the other guys to give a secondary offensive punch to this Cavs offense, especially in the short stints where Donovan's not on the court?
I mean, for me, I'm going to say no. I feel like Donovan has done all he can to be master motivator. I feel like he's done all he can, game in and game out to try to, get Darius Garland going, to try to, just give these motivational speeches to get dudes hyped up and ready to play. The fact of the matter is, the rest of the team is just not scoring enough points. When you look at the points total scored in the 2024 NBA playoffs, Donovan Mitchell is second to only Jalen Brunson.
Wow.
He has 269 points scored. Meanwhile,
now I wonder though. He had a 7-game series.
Still, points are, right?
Right. But
here's the point I'm making.
Is this total points or
this
points
is total,
per game?
No, this is total points
because
scored.
I'd be interested to look at the points per game.
This is total points scored.
Yeah,
okay?
I would expect him to be way at the top. He played 7 games.
Darius Garland is the next highest Cavalier in the playoff with 147. That ranks 24th amongst the top 25 players. Meanwhile, Boston has 3 dudes that ranks between 10 and 19. The point I'm making is you can do all the master motivating you want to do. You can do all this extra stuff. These dudes, for whatever reason, at this particular time, just can't find a way to put the ball in the basket. And I feel like when it comes to Darius Garland, he just I think he's trying to assert himself. For whatever reason, it's just not there. You can argue that the dude has really regressed. Since he signed that contract, and yeah, you do things like getting your teammates involved, your assist numbers look better, the turnovers is down. But there was a particular possession that I can go back to and game 3 to where the Cavs had got a couple of stops. Darius came down, dribbled his life away trying to make a play. He tried to ended up running baseline. He gets caught in the air and he ends up throwing the ball away.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah,
like
I remember that.
Instead of looking to get a shot, you're trying to look to create, and you can't even create right now. And so it's just like overly frustrating to see like nobody else is willing to step up. And then the other part of that is when I look at Max Strus and Georges Niang, these dudes was brought in specifically this offseason to try to counter what the Cavs' struggles were, knocking down open three-point shots, right?
Worked.
And it hasn't worked at all. And so it's not just all on Darius Garland, but the 2 key additions that you signed this past offseason to help you once you got to this point haven't showed up at all throughout the playoffs.
Strus has had moments,
but
he can't sustain
But
them.
it's just like he's had moments. Darius Garland has moments. Caris Levert had moments. People was talking to Mike in the post-game show about, his box score being 15 points. But that 15 points was empty. He had like 0 points in the first 12 minutes he played when the game was actually like close, and you could have made an impact on the game. None of these dudes are stepping up, Jay, in key moments, making key plays.
No,
right?
that's true. Mike, you had said that Donovan Mitchell points per game average is 6th in the playoffs.
Just below. He's averaging 29.6 points per game throughout the playoffs. Tyrese Maxey, who at 5, it was a 29.8, so 1.
Where is difference. Mitchell points per game average in the playoffs?
6th.
No, I'm sorry, Garland.
Ooh, let me scroll. Garland is 38th, and Mobley is 40th.
Okay, so that's right there is your problem.
And if Jared Allen had enough games, he would have been 32nd.
Yeah, there's your problem. That you've got the guy pulling a wagon, and there are 4 pretty big guys in that wagon, and Donovan Mitchell's tired. You could see he is growing weary of having to put on a cape. What's most frustrating, and I'll answer quickly, G, so you can get your answer in there. To your pointed question, can they do it? We saw it. We saw it in Game 2. We've seen it for moments in this series. Again, I sound like a broken record, but this is just the facts. The most frustrating thing about this team is the variance between their ceiling and their floor is way, way too wide. They can look like, on any given night, a team that can contend for an NBA championship. The real problem is they did that for 6 weeks.
Right.
When they were 18-2. But they followed that up with a 13-18. So while they can be all-time great, they can also be all-time crappy. And if you have a team like that, you don't have a contender. You have a frustrating team. You know they can do it. We turned on the TVs and we saw it in Game 2. If you could duplicate that every night, now I know teams are going to throw in clunkers. Maybe Game 2 is a result of Boston finally throwing in a clunker. But from my eyes, I saw a team that was hitting on all 8 cylinders. Donovan Mitchell got everybody involved. All the other stars were carrying their weight. And then Game 3 happened. And in the span of 48 hours, we saw 18-2, followed by 13-18. And I put a lot of that on the head coach. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people want to protect him, and I wish he was better. I really, truly do. But you're the leader. You're the guy. You have to make sure that you don't have that big of a gap between 18-2 and 13-8, or Game 2 and Game 3.
Go ahead, because I got a response to that. Go
okay.
ahead.
I think when you say we've seen them do it before, basketball is a sport when you're in the playoffs. The thing that matters more than anything is consistency. And consistency dictates whether or not you are really good or you're average or you're not good. And just because they show you in 5 or 10 minute spurts or game to game spurt that they can knock down shots, that doesn't matter. It's consistency. Can you do that night in, night out? Can you do that when you're open, knock down shots? Can you be disciplined enough to sit in a stance and not reach and play defense and do things like that? And they just can't do that. They've shown you they've been inconsistent all year. That's why there's not too much vitriol in what I'm saying. Second of all, we don't got ball players like that. I keep coming back to it. Max Strus is a bench guy. He's a bench player. Like, let's be clear. He was coming off the bench for the Miami Heat. he's giving you nothing. 6 points, that ain't gonna get it done. So you mean to tell me you're gonna start him? He's supposed to bring shooting. He's not shooting well. He is undersized. He's not a 3. He's not really a starting 2 guard. He really can't guard anybody. And defensively, half the reason that the Cavs are giving up all these points is because on the point of attack, Max Strus refuses to sit in a stance and stop reaching like he's taking the ball from somebody. These straight line drives right to the basket. Mobley's coming up trying to block shots, and they're just running right to the rack and finger rolling the ball and getting easy buckets. Darius Garland, same thing. Point of attack, easy money. And then you got Isaac Okoro, who listen. This is a number 5 overall pick. 2 points. Come on, like really, I just named 3 people, and then we haven't even got to the elephant in the room, Darius Garland. Darius Garland, to me, and I'll just say it, he's a high value role guy that should be coming off the bench. There's a bunch of people in this town thought he was great. Listen, at least Colin Sexton will give you 20. Listen,
do you see the possession right before halftime?
Just ridiculous.
I mean, that's I've been complaining about that all year. Late and close, I don't want that guy touching the ball.
He turned, and when you said it, I was screaming at my television. When he dribbled around in that circle, ring around the rosy,
left his feet,
jumped in the air, did a 360 pirouette, and threw the ball right to the other team. I said, all you people that are sitting here at home, I listen, if you supporting that at this time, I swear to goodness, you probably have never touched a basketball. It's time to get on people's basketball acumen at this point. I don't see no playgrounds out there. If you're under the age of 25, you ain't playing nowhere. Like, this is crazy. Like, and people say, it's like, give them a chance. In what world did I used to watch Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and people talk about giving them a chance? Like, I watched the assassins of the league. Kobe and Shaq, and you saw LeBron here, boys and girls. So my point is, they don't got it. They got Tatum. They got 4 guys, include 4 or 5 guys that could give you. They got Porzingis that give you 20. White could give you 20. Drew Holiday could give you 20, and Tatum and Brown can hit you for 30. We got 1 guy.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Do we want to address this most recent tweet about Mitchell and?
Yeah, I have it actually ready. So Tim Bontemps is at shoot-around this morning. He's ESPN's NBA reporter.
And I feel like we have to acknowledge
We have to mention it. Yeah, so Donovan was listed as questionable yesterday. He's not at shoot-around this morning, according to multiple reports. Stevie, take tag board forward. Tim Bontemps said it's a calf strain, which is news to me. I hadn't heard of the calf strain. I thought he was listed as questionable with the knee injury he's been dealing with since the end of February. Mitchell's a warrior. If he can play, he will play. But it definitely is not optimistic or a good sign when your star player, the guy who's carrying your offense on your back, is not at shoot-around. I would expect him to play.
I would
but
too.
His effectiveness with the knee and
that's
the calf
my concern. If
and
he's
I told
hobbled at all, the series is over.
Well, I told her before the series started, like, my big concern was he played great in Game 6 against Orlando. Great in Game 7. He played good in Game 5 too, but the last 3 games he was tremendous. There wasn't a ton of rest time between each of those games.
No, he's been on every other over
for
2
almost
weeks.
2 weeks now, and for a guy who needed the rest for Game 1 to kind of recover, that's a hell of a toll on his body. So I'm hoping this is just precautionary.
I can't remember him having a calf all year.
But you know
It
what,
was
though?
his knee, yeah.
That's always been the knee.
That kind of goes back to what we talked about last week, us 3 on this panel. 98% of the time, a lot of these players is dealing with injuries or dealing with stuff that we don't know about. All we know about is what's reported. We've known about the knee, and I can only assume because he's out here playing his ass off, trying to guts it out game in and game out, that, you know, he's putting some other restraint on other parts of his body.
Right.
But it goes to show, like, the warrior mentality, because not only is this dude continue to play every single game, but Jay, he's playing efficient every single game, like on 1.5 legs.
It's insane.
He's still Euro stepping. He's still taking people off the dribble.
I have noticed a little diminish in his explosiveness. Mike, have you noticed that?
I've noticed
Not much.
it.
Vertical.
No,
It's just the vertical.
I agree.
Side
Right.
is fine. Vertical.
I
it's a little
agree.
off.
but even with all of that, just the level of efficiency that he's playing, he has 7 3-pointers on Saturday night, and
5
it's
in
just
the
like
first half, right?
to see this dude continue to go out here and play like this, man, and we talk a lot about energy being transferable and people like, being able to feed off of that. I don't think he can do any more than what he's already done to show like, okay, to try to will the troops and galvanize the troops, and it's just not working.
His injury status, I don't know. He is a reputable reporter. He just made an observation. He's not at shoot around. He's listed as questionable, did you say?
Yeah, and a couple of the reporters who are Cleveland-based have also said the same thing.
Yeah,
where it's
so
listed as
we'll wait and
questionable,
see.
wasn't a shoot-around.
I guess let's do a read, and then we'll pivot to Jared Allen, who
Also is questionable.
literally on a milk carton because
Yeah.
of his ribs, which I think the Cavs undersold that at the time of the injury, but we'll get into more of that right after the
We'll
read.
talk Jared Allen.